This video is going to introduce your first major assignment in philosophy and literature, where you are going to be asked to write and tell a story about how you came to believe something. But first, we are going to explore this assignment from a philosophical angle by talking about stories in general. These are paintings from the Chauvet Cave in France, which was discovered by modern society only in 1994. The art is dated 30,000 years ago. And although it was made by humans who look and feel and exist just like us, the meaning behind them is more than likely forever lost to us in our society today. We can see the beauty of the images and the skill of the artists who made them, but we don't know what they mean. Are they communicating a message? Are they an attempt to communicate with the spirit world? Or do they tell a story? Stories are what help us make sense of things. Stories help us understand our world and our reality. Let us then consider another example of how stories can help us contextualize our world and our reality. Let's look at the story of Judith and Holofernes as told in the book of Judith in the Bible. Now, this is a story that has been painted by many well known artists. We're going to focus, though, on the version by Artemisia Gentileschi, famous for being one of the few women, if not the only woman, to join a professional artist society in Florence during the Renaissance. She was also unfortunately known for being insulted by the man who her father hired to tutor her. At the trial against him, where she testified against the man who assaulted her, she was tortured with thumbscrews to verify that she was telling the truth. When you look at her version of this story in the Bible, you can get a sense of how she might be using the story of Judith to tell her own story. Since she's not here to explain, to tell the story of what she was expressing, we can never know for sure. But we do know that stories are how we make sense of things. They are how we interpret and understand the events in our lives and the things we see and experience. Stories are how we build our sense of identity and sense of self. So the next part of this video is going to cover the assignment description, some requirements and reminders, and then next steps. So here are some of the basics of the assignment description. You will find more details in the overall assignment handout, which will either be on Canvas or Google Classroom, depending on what your teacher is using. You're being asked to identify a belief you hold, which is particularly important, and then think of an experience in which this belief became clear, or an experience which supports that belief. You will need to write this in a 600 to 700 word essay. It's due September 21st or 22nd. You will video yourself delivering your essay as a speech and submit the video, and that will be categorized as a listening speaking assessment. Your recorded speech will need to be 3 to 5 minutes long when read at a normal conversational pace. When it comes to choosing a topic, think of something that is meaningful to you. Even a small experience can show that in your daily life you can find opportunities for insight. Think of a time when you had a change of thinking or attitude. You will convey the result of the deep reflection that you have had when thinking back on that event, and how that experience has helped you form a part of your personal philosophy. Your event must take place during your high school years. The story must be about you. Do not tell a story of something that happened to a friend or family member. Your story must be about your own experience. Here are some topics to avoid: very dramatic injuries, topics that are meant to make us gasp, writing an essay about writing this essay, testament, preaching, experiences that span long periods of time, stories designed just to entertain, impersonal topics or rants, experiences that happened to you before high school, broken bones, injuries, concussions, and volunteer experiences abroad. If you're not sure, please check in with your teacher. The next steps are going to be to brainstorm, select, draft, and then finalize. And we'll get into more details about those right now. So, you are going to be completing a significant high school experience assignment, or you may have already started that. You're going to read examples, which you've already done, and you're going to read some more. You're going to identify your belief and experience. Don't get hung up on finding the perfect or really memorable experience. Don't worry if you don't know exactly what your belief is yet. That will develop as you write. You will then begin drafting your narrative, and you will have in class and out of class time to write. You'll get teacher and peer feedback, provided that you turn in your drafts on time. You will finalize and submit the written portion, practice recording, record your final product. Then you will watch your classmates' recorded speeches, and we will eventually have a seminar. Some important dates: September 21st and 22nd are when your written speeches are due, the final draft. October 1st and 2nd are when your recorded speeches must be submitted before class. So keep in mind that the most important aspect of this assignment is you telling a story about how you came to believe something. Thank you for watching, and you will have an opportunity to ask your teachers questions in your next live class session.